Good morning, my good friends. Welcome back to the Cube Crowd community server. This is Aggro Gaming coming at you with another Let's Play, running away from a skeleton that has apparently spawned on a roof. We'll take care of him real quick. If I can actually reach him, there we go. I just wanted to start today's episode off with a real quick thank you to anybody who's joining me in this second episode, who followed me here from the first one. That was definitely sort of a new thing for me, and the support from the first episode is really awesome. I'm really happy for anybody who's come back for a second episode and joining me here today. I really appreciate you being here. So today's episode, I wanted to go over a couple little things that have changed on the server, as well as do a little build with you all for something that I've been really excited to build, and it's going to be it's going to sort of set this entire build in a whole new direction, where it's going to make it a lot more unique compared to a lot of other fantasy cities, and really take in some of the lore that I explained in the first episode. So one small thing that has changed is, I believe in the first episode, and it's been probably about 2 weeks, so I do apologize, but in the first episode I was sort of in the process of working on the Parody Brewing Company. Got a little bit of a nice compound building where it's partially on an angle, partially on a straight, has an interesting little roof design here for the actual brewery and warehouse area. And I've been messing with it a little bit, however I haven't felt super inspired for it, and I'd rather have something that's really what I'm going for, rather than just trying to get something finished quick just to have it done. So it's really starting to have a very cool feel when you're inside, though. It's starting to feel more closed in and more have the whole feel that I'm actually going for with it. It's going to have the open sides here, it's going to have the vented top, and then as you're running around and flying around, it'll be a sort of an interesting building to actually look at. And I still have to work out spawn proofing it and everything, but that'll come later. The next thing that I wanted to actually show you all is going to be in our shopping district. So I will meet you all there with the power of editing. 3, 2, 1. Boom! And just like that, we're here. We're back in the east side shopping district, which is sort of the more developed side in my opinion. The one that's been sort of being directed by one of our builder members, Taco Squad. We've got a couple new shops, a couple redesigned shops that have popped up, but one of the big ones that has been really popular lately in the shopping district has been apartment complexes. And so the group that I'm in, the Masons, we've been buying up a bunch of apartment buildings and everything, and we actually own, I believe, all except for the bottom 3 floors of this tower, built by, I can't actually remember whose building this is. It's a really interesting style with all the glass and the supports and everything. But so this is the new Masonic Tower, because most of the fairly active Masons own a floor, and we have some plans for this building. So we'll actually go take a look up at the very top, as well as my apartment that I've been working on. So this is actually Creeper Claus. I believe he's online right now, yeah. This is his apartment, and it's a greenhouse. It's got like bees, he hauled an ocelot here. All sorts of really cool things. It's got a really cool style, really nice feel to it. And then continuing from there, we go to Taco Squad's room. So he's got the penthouse. He's got the whole fancy ordeal. He's got barrels and all that good stuff. I think he actually had a bed hidden in here somewhere as well. I'm not sure. I guess not. Whoops. That's something that we're gonna need later in the episode. But yeah, it's really cool design. Got a nice little what do you call it? An elytra launching bay. But then also the important part, the secret part. We actually have a lever up here that takes us up to the roof for all of the Mason meeting business and everything. We've got our beautiful aquarium, glass floor and ceiling. We've got our meeting table, a ping pong table, our golden throne, because that's here apparently. And then also on top of that, I believe there's actually, there's an elevator up to the top. Still hate that sound, that worst sound. It's satisfying but also horrible. We have our Mason helicopter, our Masonic copter, and we're actually, I know that Taco mentioned that he was planning on having an Ender Pearl golf course amongst the shopping district and the buildings here. So you're supposed to Ender Pearl to each hole basically, and I think that's going to be a really cool thing once it's done, and there's more and more skyscrapers that keep getting developed and built up around. There's going to be one going in right here actually, and they've mocked it up in creative already, so they're just building it in the vanilla or the survival now. So let's go really quick. I've shown you the other people's builds, so let's really quick go take a look at my build, my apartment complex, and I can go tell you about that. So this is the apartment that I designed, and it's a little bit clustered, but I really wanted to go for sort of what, if I just had a limited amount of space but not really much restraint when it comes to money. Actually, we'll go ahead and put a record in real quick. We'll go for this one. Why not? So this was meant to be sort of a little bit of a studio apartment type of thing, pun intended, because I do a lot with music, and this is actually an apartment with a studio built in, a recording studio. We got our little computer here, soundboard, mixers. We got some high range speakers there and some surround speakers up there. We've got the actual recording section with some water and your lyrics. I really like this roof design, and I think that I'm actually going to use this in other things outside of this theme. But we have our sort of our audio panel roof. I'm actually going to turn that down a little bit. It's a little bit loud. So we have our sound panel roof to catch sound reflections and everything. We have our sound panels on the wall. This one's going to be a bass trap, so it goes back a little bit deeper and everything. Got a little stool or table, whatever you'd like to call it. We've got a nice couch, and I saw this on Reddit a while back actually, using banners underneath the stairs and if you light these up then it'll actually show the color, but I actually sort of like the darker, sort of match the apartment better. But you use banners and it's little throw pillows and stuff. We got a little bed here. It's sort of derpy, but I like the overall feel of it. We have Maya, and that's actually named after one of my pets in the D&D world that I'm actually building right now. And then we've got some like storage for some fireworks and some random stuff, hidden crafting benches here and there. I need to put a furnace in somewhere. I might hide that maybe up here or something, or underneath that. But then we also have a map of my of the City of Parody, and we have the stronghold up there. We have the cathedral area and sort of the main portion of it right here. Like, it's not super detailed yet because there's not much built, but this main area is definitely going to be filled up. So I think that this will be cool to sort of check the progress and everything, and other people can see it. We'll go ahead and cut that off for now. However, it throws records everywhere. I need to block off the back here. But so that's sort of been the bulk of the changes. I might just do a really quick fly around to the shopping district, let you see, and not explain any updates, but y'all can just see sort of progress as things change. There's another tower going up here. All sorts of cool stuff. This side is definitely coming along. Like, you can just see the height difference between the two sides, and I kind of love it. But there's definitely some development on the west side. There's another one of our builders, Trekstone, who's actually on right now. He's going to be the manager of the west side shopping district. I know he has some things planned. But yeah, like, it's really coming along. Like, it's really cool. We have another twisting tower here, it looks like, or another cool skyscraper design. I know that this shop here, let me go ahead and take a landing. That shop right there is actually going to be getting rebuilt eventually to match the theme more. And then this one is going to go up, I believe, to about this level, a little bit shorter than the Masonic Tower. But let's go ahead and... Oh, and they finished the Central Park here. I forgot about that. I actually hadn't taken a look at it yet. It's really, really cool, and I really like the feel of it. I think each park is going to sort of have its own feel. This one's more of like a turn of the century, New York, Chicago kind of feel. This one's definitely a lot more woody and open. And then I believe that's going to be a the west side is going to be a super modern style to most of it, which is really cool. Oh, one other thing. We're actually going to skip over that. So there's a project that some of our end managers and some of our technical players have been working on the server, and they actually just finished a full-fledged in vanilla survival on the server. We now have a gravity block duper. So in spawn here, we have our collection system that was set up previously for ender pearls from our enderman farm. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to grab some, and we're just going to throw that out so it's not in there. But so we have our collection system that picks up stuff that comes through the end portal. And then in addition to that, and it sorts the ender pearls and everything. And then over here we actually have a storage system for all of the concrete and sand and gravel and red sand that we could ever need, which is absolutely awesome. So now nobody really has to struggle for that. The high dollar blocks, I guess, are probably going to be terracotta, because it is sort of harder to collect and it's so versatile because of all the colors. But I think that that's absolutely awesome. I might, in a future video, I might see if we can maybe get a explanation on how it works from maybe Tool or Blocky, one of the end managers, or something like that. And I might do a little small video or a segment of a video about that, which I think is really cool. And so today's project is actually going to be using some stuff that I collected, some concrete and some glass that I collected from that whole system. So, as I previously mentioned, the City of Parody is my sort of remake, my Minecraft remake on a D&D world that I have built over the years. And for those of you that don't know, D&D is typically a fantasy role-playing game that's sort of like games like Skyrim and Fallout are some big titles that the way that those games function is very similar to how D&D functions, with like statistics and percentages, but instead of a computer doing it for you, you use dice and paper. And it's really, really fun. You can be really creative and get as creative as you want to with it. But so this city is a very magical city. It's known for its magical item exports because of some of the things that influence the terrain around here and one of the primary goddesses, which is the reason that there is going to be an enormous cathedral there. So one of the big things about this is I really wanted to have it be set apart from a lot of other high fantasy city builds. And it's in survival, so that's already coming along great. However, I have a stronghold right over there, right? And I was just sort of messing around. I wanted to try my hand at organics. So I was in our creative server messing around a little bit, and I really wanted to do something sort of out there. Something stretching my creative legs, doing something I hadn't done before. And so this is just a very small footprint for what I'm actually going to be working on today. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of progress done and maybe show you halfway through and then the finished product. And then I'll go ahead and go and explain it. So I'll see y'all in just a few moments. Okay, guys. Well, I've made a good bit of progress. I've been at this for a couple hours now, maybe 2 or 3 hours. I have finished the... Oop, you almost saw it there. So I finished a primary section of it. However, I still have a lot of glass placement to do. But look at this. So this is going to be one of the city's guardians. He looks a little bit derpy right now because he gets covered in black, gray, light gray stained glass and glass panes. So he has a very wispy sort of appearance to him, and it also bulks him up a lot. Right now he looks very skinny, which he is meant to be lanky, but it will fill him out after we get more of the glass on there. But yeah, they're just these large hulking creatures just ominously circling the city. I plan on having maybe 3 or 4 of them. I'm going to probably build 1 or 2 at an angle. I'm going to try and give that a shot, so they're not all the same. Have some with a slightly different head position, maybe have some that are bigger, some that are maybe more wispy, some that are less lanky and more bulky. I'm not sure, but yeah, we've got the first one, and I plan on, when 116 comes out, I plan on swapping his eyes, the fire in his eyes, out with soul fire, the blue fire. But yeah, I'll really quick show you a little bit of the view from different parts of the city. And I really want this whole thing to be very mystical. I want spirits to be flying around. I want all of these crazy creatures in the city, outside the city, all sorts of unique touches that sort of link it to D&D. And then the lore behind these are that this city is protected by the primary goddess, which is the goddess of nature, and there are builds that I have planned that will flush that out more. However, for now, because I have my stronghold, my end portal, just northwest of here, that could be like the portal to like the negative energy plane or something like that. Something not like hell's, but dark, very dark, morbid creatures that live there, right? And so because this city has the protection of the goddess, they've come through and they've somehow possibly tamed these creatures. So I might actually, once I get the soul fire, the ones with the blue eyes could potentially be tamed ones, and the ones with the red eyes, I can maybe add some red smoke effects, or maybe they'll be larger, or there will be some defining trait that's different, and I might have them even further out in the world. Even if I don't really mess with them, it would be cool to occasionally have somebody fly through to see one. So they circle the city. They defend it from anything that might try to damage the city, whatever. However, one big thing is these creatures in D&D, Shadow Walkers, I believe is what they're called. They are known for just being absolutely horrible. They are the complete opposite of life. They have an aura around them that just leeches life, and is just the aura of death around them. They are very, very dangerous in D&D, but I thought that it'd be cool to have them as our guardians. So I might have, like, trailing behind him, have maybe some mycelium, podzol, decay in footsteps and leaching out of the ground. I think that that would be very cool, and maybe even have one in the water, in this swamp over here, and have it leaving a trail of sludge behind it. I think that it would be really cool, but yeah, you can see it from, I mean, he's absolutely enormous, and you can see him from a lot of different positions in the city, which is what I was really going for. I want it to be a very visual presence, that these things are here and they're coexisting. And I really am happy with how the skeleton turned out, and now I need to actually do the, I guess you could call it the flesh of it. So I'm going to really quick work on that a little bit and get back to you with the finished product. Well guys, I have made a good bit of progress here, and I've actually sort of finished it up. Like, there's a couple small details that I need to do around the feet, but I've got, oh man, I guess somebody slept. Looks kind of weird in shaders. Here, we'll get a better view. But so I've got a coating of glass on it, right? Actually, I am going to go ahead and turn off shaders for this one. Let's see, video shaders off. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of glass, and it's sort of chaotic up close when you're viewing it. Oh, I gotta go load them in, I guess. It's kind of chaotic, and there are a couple parts that I'm sort of still tweaking a little bit, making look a little bit more natural. Like, from this angle, he looks really chaotic, with all the little gray glass dotted in with the black and everything. But from just about every other angle, like, he looks pretty damn cool, in my opinion. So this is my Shadow Guardian. This is the first of many that walks around and defends the city. The guardian of the city from the end portal, the negative energy dimension. Like, it's definitely one of those things that I think will make the whole area way more immersive. And as I have different ones, and I have like other sorts of spirits and creatures wandering around, I think that it'll really add a nice touch. But so, especially during the day, when you're from a distance, you can sort of see the silhouette of him, of the concrete through the glass, so it really helps the whole illusion. But then at night, he just looks so shadowy, and it blends in with the sky really well. I think that it's going to be a really cool, just immersive sort of build. And he serves zero purpose to Minecraft, other than just looking cool. But yeah, so I think that I'm going to sort of wrap it up today. I've gotten a good bit done. This is actually the next day that I'm recording this little bit. But overall, let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything that you think that I should change or tweak on him. Let me know if there's anything that y'all want to see. But yeah, thanks for tuning in today, guys. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.